Hey. It is Takara Williams. Got my co-host, Carla Harris. We are about to start this crossover.
What's good? Welcome back to episode 2 of the crossover.
So look, we got a very special guest today, NBA legend, my brother from another mother, Mark Strickland. So Mark, I want you to talk to the people. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Give them a background on you.
From Atlanta, Georgia. I was raised in Decatur, Georgia. Played all sports as a kid. Then reached between 8th and 9th grade. I grew from about 5'6" to 6'3". So that meant football was out because the ribs was too vulnerable. Baseball, I could have kept playing baseball, but I had a father that was a Marine, and a lot of my cousins and relatives was into other stuff, and if I didn't go to college, he told me he was going to send me to the Marines, and I didn't want that. So just so happens the baseball coach at my high school was the wood shop teacher, and the basketball coach played for the Lakers. So there you go. So I made that switch in the 9th grade. Just kept focusing on basketball. Was blessed enough to go to Temple University with John Chaney, which was a great experience. Coach was like a father to all of us. Taught us a lot. Taught us a lot about etiquette. How to tie a bow tie, how to handle ourselves at different events. Because I had never been to a black tie event, nothing like that. So he took us to all those type places, and he also made sure all his players got an opportunity to go out of the country. So every 3 years, he would have a Temple University team go out of the country. Just for us, it was Japan, because they had a Temple University in Japan. So that was a excellent experience for me. Got a chance to play abroad. Kind of got ahead. Didn't know that in the future I would kind of use that experience. The airports and the passport, and knowing how to change money. Those type of experience, I didn't know that would come in handy in the future. So after Temple, I was pretty much a bum for about 6 months, to be honest with you. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I had got cut from the Hawks, and I got cut from France, and I got cut from Spain. And I was just kind of like, okay, 6 months. I was just around Coach Chaney. My mom called Coach Chaney. Then told me to come back to school. That's when I thought I was pretty much going to be a coach. And then got the itch back, started working out. Went to the USBL with a guy named Al Outlaw. Most cities have a basketball guy. I don't know. Here now it's Stan Remy and a couple of other guys. But in Atlanta at that time, it was Al Outlaw. He knew if you played ball, you had to know Al Outlaw or play for him. So knew he had a USBL team. Went back, played on that team, played really well. Then I did 2 years USBL, 1 year in Puerto Rico where I won the championship. Then I did 2 in the CBA. First year in the CBA, got blessed enough to get called up to the Indiana Pacers, which was my first NBA experience, which was great. That kind of got me the hunger, because I had experienced it. I had never really, on the road, played in the games. That kind of let me know, especially practicing with them. I knew I could compete then. You always see it, but you know how it is, Carl, when you get there, you see that speed and the size, and you're like, hold on a second, like, this is a little different. But that experience gave me an opportunity to get my confidence up, and I knew I could play in the league. So I had that really good itch. Second year in CBA, I didn't get called up. But that summer, I went to Portland, played really well. They decided to go draft Jermaine O'Neal. Went to New Jersey twice, played really well for them. They decided I was too young. They wanted to go with a veteran team, so I pretty much was going to go overseas. I was pretty much done. Then one day I was at home, just came from a workout, and he told me I had a one-day tryout for the Miami Heat. I wasn't going to come because I felt like, hey, what they're going to see in an hour, 2 hour workout that they don't already know. So I wasn't going to come. Got to the airport. Luckily, there was the lady at the gate was a huge Miami Heat fan. So when I walked up, she knew I was tall. She said, "You must be trying out for the Heat," kind of like that. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it. They got them sending me, but I want to do a one-day trial, and I might not go." So she was like, "Just sit down, and you going." And then she kind of waited. I waited literally. I was the last person on the plane. It was a one-day trial, so I really didn't have nothing but a book bag. And I just went on and came. One-day workout turned into the next day, then they sent me home for Labor Day. I thought that was it, actually. Then I talked to my agent on Labor Day. He's like, "Yo, you're leaving tomorrow, right?" I'm like, "What talking about?" Like, "What you mean I'm leaving? Right? You go back to Miami. They want you to come for the rest of the summer." So came rest of the summer, turned into like the training camp, and then that led to me making the team. Kind of got smart. Luckily, every team I was on, I had a veteran, and my veteran in Miami was Keith Askins.
Oh wow!
He actually taught me how to manage Miami, because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I had never in my life experienced nothing like this before in my life. It was just like my mouth was open for about a week. I swear, man. It was just like I'd never seen with the South Beach. I had never seen nothing like that before, just walking in the clubs, and it was crazy. So talking to him, he's like, "Look, man, if you want to make this team, you can't be doing what them young dudes doing. You can't burn the count on both ends, especially if you play for Pat Riley. That's why his practices are like they are, to keep us off the beach. Now, what you need to do is think about what you're doing. Either you're going to party now, get cut, have your great experiences for about a month or two, or you can get focused, man, make this team. You can party here all year." So, decided to, just work out. I didn't go out. Went out twice, I think. Never went out again until I made the team. Made the Heat team, which was a great feeling, but it wasn't over yet. We're in Seattle. I go to shoot around, come back to the room. I get a call, I'm getting cut. So I'm like, what? So I just hang up the phone. Now I'm just like, tearing up my room, kicking loud, throwing chairs. I'm saying the phone rings again. It's my agent. I'm like, "Man, they can't believe they just cut me. Man, I did all this work. They told me they love me." Like, hey. They're going to sign you to a 2-year deal now after you pass the waiver period. So they're going to give you an extra year. So just relax. I'm like, okay, whoa. So that kind of had to, switch rooms. Stayed there for a couple of days, and they told me they was going to fly me to LA, because we was in Seattle, then they was going to play Portland, and I was going to meet them in LA, and then they're going to sign me. But they decided to wait. I got back to Miami and then do it in Miami, because I think they was cutting somebody. So got back to Miami, man. Went to the office, signed a 2-year deal, which wasn't guaranteed. Still had to bust my hump that summer. And then that next year, I got an opportunity to play. There was a lot of injuries to guys, PJ Brown mostly, and Jamal Mashburn, Thunder Dan. Those were the guys that I backed up, and it was injury after injury. So I was always getting an opportunity to play, and that's when I kind of got my niche. Doc Ramsey gave me the Pogo Man nickname. Jumping all over people, because I was just like, this is my chance to really play.
Yeah.
And then that year, got blessed with a nice contract. Played in the league 9 years, played for 7 teams, and then still wanted to play a little bit. Because before I got to the league, I went to the Netherlands, which was a great experience. That's when I kind of got my game back, because I told you I was like a bum for 6 months. So I was really rusty. So you know how when you go overseas, they expect you to, do everything. So those first couple of months, I was up and down, 20, 14, 30, 16. It was kind of like that. So then after the break, we had like a Christmas break. Came back from the break, man, I was rolling. It was like 30, 41, 52, 38. I was rolling then. So I was like, okay. This was before I got all those to the CBA and did all that. I forgot to. I just wanted to throw that in there. Then I went. After I got cut, I wanted to overseas again. But I wanted to go places where I wanted to tour. So I was making a long story short. I went to France, didn't like it. Got balled out, came home. Then I went to the Lebanon, which was great. had a lot of pros over there. I was kind of shocked. The league was good, city was good. You just had to stay on the Catholic side. Couldn't go to the Muslim side. You had to stay on the Catholic.
Yeah.
So that was easy. But then after there, I went to Lebanon. Got me a chance to go to Dubai because all the tournaments was in Dubai. And tournaments overseas, they 3 weeks. It's not like a weekend. I'm in Dubai for 3 weeks. It's like kicking it. Tournament and you play the game. So it was a great experience. And then my last place I went to was Jordan, which was a great experience too. And then I was about 38 at that time, man. And what happened with me was when I first started going overseas, I was playing for top teams, first place team, second place team. So my job was easier. All I had to do was pretty much score and just do my thing.
Right.
The older I got, I started playing for worse teams. I'm like, hold on, man. I'm playing more defense. More strategies. Hold on. So now I'm going to 6th place teams, 7th place teams, but I'm still making the playoffs because, I'm pretty decent player at that time. But then I was like, I just didn't want to be that old dude with the knee braces, man, just holding on too long. I felt good. I felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. So I hung them up at 38. Thought I was going to be coaching, but just didn't like it. Morehouse was my best experience with Grady Brewer, may he rest in peace. Knew him from high school. He was the head coach at Morehouse. My man Harold Ellis, who now is with the Knicks. We knew each other since high school, played against each other. He was a city guy. He always clowned me because I'm from the suburbs of Atlanta. I don't know what that means. Ball is ball. You put the ball in the hole, I don't care where you're from, you're going to get picked. But
right.
So then got an opportunity to coach. The D-League back then, I coached in. That was the G-League. It just wasn't a good experience, man. I really felt like I should have just stayed at Morehouse maybe 3-4 years, got some tutelage on Grady Brewer. But what I ended up doing, one at Morehouse, one in the G League, which was an awful experience. And I did the inaugural season in Canada where I was finally a head coach. Did a great job. Team ran out of money, man. So that was another bad experience. So, I had to come home around Christmas time. So I was just like, man, I got to do my own thing. Did Gulliver for 1 year down here. Liked it, but it was just a little bit too political for me. I don't like keeping kids on a team when I know I got somebody that can play, and I got to keep somebody on a team because he's paying for the Christmas tournament for the head coach. I really don't like doing ball like that because I know that we don't get. When I say we, I mean us as black athletes. We don't get that unless we dog. I'm talking about people that can't play.
So you gotta play him, and you gotta play him.
You want me to keep that player over this guy who got a little potential who can help me win. So that was my first time kind of experience the political side of coaching, man. It's just so political. It was just wearing on me, man. And I got burnt out. So I had to get away from ball for a while, and then got blessed enough to run into Robert Mazzucchelli, which gave me an opportunity to run into Takara.
Yeah.
Because
hold on, Mark. Don't give him the whole story. Don't give him the whole story. Before you go any further, I want to touch on such a giant as Coach Chin. What has he meant in your life and your development?
You know what, man? When I was growing up in Atlanta, I wanted to go to a school in the city because I was sick of the suburbs. I got all of that and more in Philly. Well, it's 2 people that I met in my life. Well, maybe 3. But it's had that aura, you meet somebody and you kind of just you see it and it's shocking because it's never happened before. When we opened that door, man, and he was up on them steps, man, coming into that foyer, man, I swear it was like he was glowing. It felt like he was about to float to the top, because you see him on TV, you saw what he was doing for Prop 48, which I was a Prop 48 player. Not passing the SAT, and he's giving us an opportunity, kind of standing up for us, which is a really great guy, unapologetically black, really taught me about, not feeling like I'm beneath anybody, feeling like I should maybe play a lesser role or act like I'm lower than anybody. I could just be myself. That's what Coach taught us. Be ourselves, be proud of who we are. Never let nobody, deter you from that. So Coach was huge. He was like a father. He was your aunt. He was your mom. He was your disciplinarian. He was one of those type coaches. You could call him even after we left, man. I mean, I talked to him maybe a week before he passed away. I mean, Coach was that kind of guy. Like, I had a problem, I called him, especially when I started coaching. I kind of wanted to know what type of athletes to pick. You know, he kind of told me long athletic wings. And a big guy, make sure I find a big post guy, you know, to work around. He was just, you know, taught us more about family, you know, having children, man, and being in their lives, whether you with the mother or not, you know, because there was a lot of that going on at the time. So he taught us about, you know, you can still be there. Make sure you're there because kids want time. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the material things. They remember time because he was remember his father. All he can remember was him being there. You don't really remember the sneakers he bought him, you know, whatever that. The material stuff, he don't remember that. He remember the time. So Coach was a huge factor. It was a big loss for all of us. Very sad time for all of us. We kind of pulled together, got through it, but we got memories. And Coach lived a great life, and he touched a lot of people. And I was glad that I was one of the people that he got an opportunity to touch, and I could kind of give some of that knowledge to other kids and people.
Yeah. And Mark, man, that's awesome, man. So, like, tell us what the crossover means to you. I know you wasn't the guard, right? You the pogo man. I'm either throwing it up to you, you go get it and put it in, right? So what does the crossover mean to you? Like, it doesn't even have to be sports related, but just what does crossover mean to you?
Crossover. To me, the first thing I think about is Tim Hardaway and, you know, Allen Iverson and, you know, some of those guys, because it's a great move, especially for guards. You know, it's just great to see, especially when a guy trying to tangle his feet. Crossover for me, I'll give you a short story. My great grandmother people used to say like crossover was a negative thing. My great grandmother kind of made it a positive thing. You can cross over to not crossing over. You know what I mean? So, you know, same messages. I was blessed enough to have people in my life to get the same message. Be yourself. Because the first time I kind of had this feeling like, you know, I was trying to talk to a girl, and she wouldn't call me back. So I'm confused. Like, hey, I'm Mark Strickland. Like, hey, when you calling me back? So I was getting a little down on my mom's like, look, you gotta remember this, man. People gonna make time for who they want to make time for. You know, you just gotta be yourself. And the girl that's gonna like you regardless. So that was the first lesson. Second lesson, I played with that crossover. So that's being like crossover to not allowing nobody to, you know, affect how you are as a person.
Right.
That was one of them. The second one was the same type deal. Played on one of the most legendary Little League baseball teams ever assembled in Atlanta. Georgia, the state of Georgia. We was going all over the place whooping people. Didn't get along with nobody on the team. But one person, that was Mo Lewis, who played for the Jets. It's only because he was a little bit older, mature. He had older brothers, you know. Mo Lewis was the type of guy, man, we was going over his house at 10, 11, 12 years old. He was doing his homework on the computer. He was like, I'm talking about printing it out, stapling it, typing it up. I'm like, this dude, like, I didn't even know what a computer was. So you know how to hook it up, put the printer on it, print it out, like all that. Didn't get along with none of them at all. I remember being a little kid, which really changed my mentality about being myself. I remember playing in the foyer. I was playing with something. My mom was in the kitchen, and we had these saloon doors. You know how guys used to bust through the saloon and Moody. I mean, I was like, Mom, you know, the guys on the team don't like me. You know, should I change who I am and be into what they was into and do the stuff that they do? I remember she busted. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Look, you remember, people are going to think what they want to think of you no matter what you do. So you might well be yourself. And she said the same thing. The people that's going to be there are going to be there regardless. And I remember her turning around and busting back through them doors. After she told me that, man, I've had the same mentality since I was 8 years old. Man. I just, you know, and I've been blessed, and it's helped me because I never had to. You see how people change themselves to be with a group of people, or you know people that act one way with this group of people, and it's just you and them, they act completely different, like really cool, and they be with some more people that act different again. It's like I never wanted to be like that, you know. So it kind of helped me because I never had to change who I am to be around the people that I'm around. So it kind of helped me be around people that was really for me, really cared about me, genuinely cared about me. Because Cara knows when I'm a friend, I'm your friend. You know, she want me to come on here every day this week. I'll be right here at 7:00. You know,
Yeah, 100.
she helped me out with Sports at TV. We have a relationship there. She's a part of Sports at TV, and that's giving back. So, you know, that's where I'm at now. You know, I had a great career. Basketball has been good to me. So now it's about giving back to these kids. Right now, I'm at the 3rd grade game. You know, we're up 23-0. So love this 3rd grade team. 3rd grade team is the best. I mean, they listen, pivoting everything. Now, in this game is the teenage boys. No.
And the teenagers don't listen to you.
No.
You played in the NBA.
No. I mean, I'm talking about we draw it up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And they go right out there and literally do it the wrong way. Like, we just drew it up. Now, mind you, 3rd grade team, we talking about brand new. Nothing we went over and run into perfection, get a layup, everything. I love that group. So now, man, it's about giving back. Sports at TV is about giving back. I'm blessed enough to be an owner in that and be a part of it and be the executive director of basketball, which allows me to bring on Tim Hardaway and Cara and Ed Pickney and get interviews from Stan Van Gundy, Ray Allen, and those type of people, you know, God Shamgard. So we just trying to make sure, I just wanted to make sure the basketball on Sports at TV was really helping people. Like, when you really look at those videos, you're really learning something from it. I wanted to make it easy enough where you could do those drills without a hoop. Like, everybody think you got to work out with a hoop. And we know, everywhere growing up, it wasn't no hoop. Especially no Nets. I didn't know what Nets was until when I went to school. I never seen Nets until I went to school. I'm telling you, I didn't know what Nets were. I mean, I remember chain Nets, but real Nets, it was just empty. It was just hoop. So, you know, so that's what we're about. We're dealing with a lot of companies. We're really growing right now. I think we're in the process of getting offices now pretty soon. And then once we keep blowing up, we'll get a campus down here where we're going to do some stuff for coaches, basketball. You know, right now we have 10 sports over. We'll have over 40 sports. So I'm really blessed to be a part of that. And now Hoop Dreams is part of Hoop Dreams. And now we're expanding that to where we're going to do some tournaments this summer. We got 2 gyms, we're working on 1 more gym, and then we can get 40 teams. We have some Panamanian teams coming. We have some Dominican teams coming. We have some Puerto Rico teams coming. And we have some Italian teams from Italy coming. Like 6th grade, maybe 3rd grade on up.
Wow.
So we starting to make those connections and starting to put some stuff together just to try to make my little dent in basketball in Miami. That's all I'm trying to do.
And that's what I'm going to ask. Like, what was next for Mark? But I guess that's what's next. Making your dent in Miami.
Yeah, man, I just felt like I've been here longer than Atlanta. I've been here over 30 years.
Wow.
So when you come to a city, you just can't take it. You know what I mean? You guys are from here. You know how people come down here and disrespect the city.
Yeah.
Disrespect the culture. Like, you know, how you gonna come down here and try to do a party without talking to a headliner? That type of stuff. Like, they already got that on lock. Like,
right.
You can't just do that. Come in the city. Or I've seen players come to the city, you know, do camps, and it's just for the money. And when they leave, they don't come back, talk to the kids. Like, everywhere I go, I see kids, hey, coach. You know, I like that feeling. I mean, I'm making an impact, you know, and that's what we should be doing. I think all NBA players and anybody that coach or be around kids should be trying to give them avenues so they can see they can do something different. That's what I want to do, because I didn't know, a lot of my friends didn't know that they passed away, that, you know, how you grow up with guys and you're playing Little League with them, and then by the time you get to high school, man, you know, he's in a gang, and, you know, he's not even the same person, you know. Right. So I've seen that. So I'm just trying to give this Hoop Dreams gives me an opportunity to give these kids an opportunity to do something every day, every weekend. You know, you got somewhere to go, because that's how I remember my childhood. I really do. It was always somewhere I had to go.
Exactly.
Somewhere. It was always somewhere I had to go. So That's what I'm trying to
Sports
do. Just build that legacy. That's all I'm trying to do. Just give back to as many kids, as many coaches, as many people that's going to take this knowledge and apply it to, go on.
Yeah, our business coach, Michelle Adderley, she had a comment. She said the kids think they're grown. So when we was talking about those teenagers, say they think they're grown. That's why they don't listen. Very true.
You get two groups. You get a group that don't care about nothing. They don't care about school. They don't care about, grades. They don't care about college. They don't care about living. They just don't care. So those are the ones that we really have to hone in. And then you have those ones, just like you said, they think they know everything. They just already know. You already know, coach. You got Ray Allen telling you, hey man, you need to jump on your jumper. This is what Ray Allen telling me. He had a kid come back to him and say, no, coach, I think I'm going to stick to doing it where I want to do it because it's comfortable for me. Can you imagine telling Ray Allen, this dude is like the second leading three-point shooter in NBA history, and he's telling you all you got to do is jump. Your form is nice, all you got to do is jump. And you come back to him 3 days later, like, coach, you know what? I just thought about what you said. But I'm going to do it my way because it's easier for me. Like, can you imagine? So how can you help a person like that? How? But we just keep going. We keep knocking it and knocking it and knocking. You never know when you bust through and you can change that whole person's opinion and they'll start listening and things will work out better for them.
Yeah. These kids, they don't know who Jesus Shuttlesworth is, man. They don't know Jesus Shuttlesworth. That's a big difference.
He's at Gulliver now. We was having that conversation maybe 2 weeks ago. He like, man, a kid told me, man, no, coach. I'm going to do it my way because it's easier for me. I feel more comfortable with my way. I was just like, wow.
Well, Mark, that leads us into a question like, what would you tell, and you're teaching all these young athletes, what would you tell any young athlete you meet to help them reach the pinnacle that you were able to? What would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
First thing they got to do is believe in themselves. You really, everything starts in the mind. I always tell you, everything started in my mind. And when in the beginning, most of the time, you're going to be the only person that believes what you're going to become.
Ooh.
You can't let others deter you from that. I'm sorry about that. You can't let others deter you from that. So 9 times out of 10, they're putting your insecurities onto you. Like they might can't do it. That don't mean you can't do it.
Right.
So that's the key. If you have a thought, you want to accomplish something. The second thing I always tell people, you got to work hard at it. That's the part that people don't see, and I get angry about a lot of athletes because they only show the cars, the big shots, all of that, the money, the jewelry, I'm in the club walking in, I got all the gear and I got the advertisement dollars, but they're not showing, the hours and hours and hours and hours that you put in the gym, the parties you're missing, you become a pro, you're missing birthday parties, you're missing your kids at plays because it's short-lived. You gotta work at it. You gotta work at it. You gotta work at it. The more you work at it, you just get better with that process. Number 3, adversity. That's the biggest key. You're gonna have adversity when you're trying to do something. And that is the testament. I call it the God test. God is gonna always test you. You may say you pray for something and you want to do something, but He's gonna give you tests to see if you really want it. See, after college, I'm at home being a bum. I could have just went and got a job, or I could have just been like, I don't want to play. I'm gonna just stay here. I'm comfortable. Coach Shaney, I know he gonna put me on the staff. But I was like, nah, I could play in the NBA. I knew I could play in the NBA if I get an opportunity. So I started playing. My first year. I tell people all the time, my first year playing, after being a bum, my first year playing USBL, I made $34 that season.
$34?
$34. That's all we made because we had Darren Armstrong, Stan Rose, and a couple other guys staying in a hotel. The coach was like, hey, we got to pay for their hotel, and we can't pay y'all local guys.
Wow.
But Outlaw was like, hey, this is what y'all should be wanting to do. You shouldn't be playing for money, which was a trick, by the way. You know, we fell for it.
We'll pay for free.
Y'all know just like me. Hey man, I'm out here balling. I want to get paid. But he talked to us, and 4 out of 5 starters made it to the league on that team. Darrell Ellis went to the Clippers. Antonio Harvey went to Portland. Darrell Armstrong went to Orlando Magic, and I played for the Heat. All of us that year made, like, I think Darrell and them got maybe $134. I got $34. Ellis didn't make nothing. I mean, he didn't make nothing because he didn't go on the road with us because he had to substitute teach that summer. So he was playing with us at home, and on the road, I gotta make money, Law. I got substitute. But doing those too at the same time made it to the league. So that's the thing. You gotta always expect adversity and just gut through it, and and then once you make it, I tell people to be humble. Because once you get there, you can't really take that for granted. You have to really think about the journey to try to keep you humble, because that's the key. Because you know how it is with success come haters. With success, the more success you have, that's when the devil come out. And you really have to be. If you're humble, man, you'll see those things and really be able to navigate through that. So those are the points I talk to a lot of people about. It's a lot of other phases to it because I speak to kids and talk at different places, and I kind of go through the steps. But those are the main ones. You have to believe it. Starts in the mind. You got to work hard at it. You're gonna face some adversity, and if you are blessed enough to make it where you dream about going, you have to be humble when you get there because a lot of it's really about relationships. That's when you get older, you learn all those high school, college, especially college. I do most of my business with guys that was on the 5th floor. That was regular students with me. Yeah, always. Rick Gads, he lives in he does the 707, the biggest 707 in Fort Lauderdale in Miami. He was on our floor. Then he knew he from Florida, but I didn't know we hang out all the time now. So it's about relationships and maintaining those relationships. And then as you get older, around I'm 52 now, be 52 this year. Now it's more about just it's about peace and getting with people that have the same ideas as me.
That's awesome.
Man, you dropped some jewels, man.
Yeah, I like what one of our viewers said, that people will put a cap on your dreams if you let them. And I like that.
It's all their insecurities. It's their insecurities. It's their jealousy. It's their hate. Why him? Why not me? Also, some people just don't like you just because you're you. I get that too. It's nothing. I never hung out with them. Never did nothing to them. Never, talked to them. Never been over their house, and they just don't like me because of me. But I'm very good at deflecting that kind of stuff because, I just don't have time for it, to be honest with you. Never have. Since that talk with my mom, since I've been 8, I've been like this.
Yeah. And I can vouch that he is the same person every day, all day. Like, I've never seen him switch up or change. Even if things weren't going right, he still remains the same calm, cool, collected.
That's the John Changer effect.
I like that.
One of the books also stated that your dreams have to be so big that they scare you. I totally agree with that. Agree with that.
Yeah. Sometimes you stand alone with that. A lot of coaches. I've been blessed to play for a lot of good, like 5 Hall of Fame coaches. High school coach was a Hall of Famer. Then I got Larry Brown first. Then Pat Riley. Then Donnie Nelson. Then Rick Adelman. I think that's it. Those are my Hall of Famers.
Man, you had some hitters along your journey
too. Know exactly what they know. So really blessed with coaches. Tell my son that all the time. I apologize, man. You just ain't got no coaches. Coaches are horrible, man. It's horrible now. But we'll go into another subject one day. We'll talk AAU. I think AAU messed up, and the sticker company messed up a lot.
Oh boy,
that's where they did.
We'll say
that whenever y'all want me back.
We'll do a travel ball segment.
A lot of heat for AAU. It is really, it's good for shoe companies and good that money is in the tournaments and stuff, but it's really awful for development and it's awful for those guys that are right in the middle. Those guys that need that good work and they can push them to being top players. They're forgotten about. So that's another time.
I agree with that.
You had anything else for Mark before we put him on the 30-second blitz, the cross zone, the hot cross zone?
Yeah, I feel like he hit on everything. Like, yo, we didn't even have to really ask. He went straight to it.
Man, told the story. I love it. Jason, he gave an autobiography off the jump. Bro, that was cool. Hey, so Mark, we got what we call the hot cross zone. Got like 5 quick questions to ask you. You just riddle them off real quick. First question is, what's your favorite food?
Oh, seafood, shrimp, lobster.
All right.
All that seafood.
You got dessert or no dessert?
Dessert. How to? Every time I eat it, I have to have dessert.
All right. So you like to play a fast game or a slow game?
Fast game. More action. More lobs. More dunks.
All right. So who you think more valuable, the point guard or the post player?
Point guard, I feel like, because you can have a good post player. If you can't get him the ball and you can't get the ball up the court, he's just standing around just being big. But point guard has to be able to get around with the ball. He has to be able to, tell people where to be. He's kind of like the eyes and ears and the coach on the floor. So
that's true.
You can't do nothing about a good point guard. I just feel like it don't work because I've seen a lot of bigs play on teams and they just big out there, can't get the ball.
Hey, that's coming from a big man. That's coming from a big man.
I'm serious, yeah. I mean, I think all that. Why Tim Hardaway was the first guy I called. Big Chris Starpinez, I talked to him. He's my point guard. Gary Grant, still talk to him. He was my point. I talked to all my point guards.
You need him. All right, the last question. Who will be the NCAA champion this year in the men's game?
I'm going to say Kansas. Kansas look tough right now.
Kansas look tough right now? You don't think Duke is going to pull out for Coach K?
No. Duke ain't got enough to beat Kansas, I think.
They so loaded. They so deep.
Yeah, Kansas they just huge. They're just so big. They got better shooters. They're more athletic. I think they got enough size to get Baycott in foul trouble. But, not Baycott. I mean, the big number 5 they have, and Williams. I think Williams can get in foul trouble if you got some footwork there. Bigs kind of attack him. But I'm rooting for Duke too. Either way, I'm happy. One of those two, I think those are my final 2. Kansas and Duke. Yeah.
So you got Duke beating UNC.
Oh yeah. They beat them twice. No way they beat them twice, man.
Oh yeah. And I remember the ACC tournament. I forgot the young man's name, but he won it, North Carolina, but they ended up losing, so he didn't get him. But now he got him.
Yeah. They ain't gonna beat them twice, man. No way. Plus they embarrassed them at home. Coach K last game. Come on, no way. There's no way. They'll be humiliated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, before we let you go, I definitely got to ask you one thing. If you could give advice to your younger self or someone striving to be in the position that you are in now, what would you tell them?
Keep working. Keep working. I tell them all the time, keep working. Keep working. That's all I say. Keep getting better. Keep working. Keep getting better. I don't even talk NBA. You keep working. You keep getting better. God got the rest. That's I tell him that all the time. I tell him that. I've never told him NBA. I've been like, yo. He be like, you think I'm mad? I'm like, if you keep working and you keep getting better, you'll have a chance to. Yeah, you will. But you gotta do those 2 things. You don't do that, no, you won't make it.
So for our audience, when you decode that, what he's saying is, number 1, have faith, and that's believe in yourself. Number 2, you got to be consistent. Those 2 things. You can get wherever you need to go. Like you said, God will do the rest, but you got to meet him somewhere.
Yep. He gonna test you too, for sure.
Yeah.
Somebody say no. I appreciate you. I definitely got to get it. I enjoy watching you play.
Appreciate it.
It's great to be able to talk with you and get to know you even better as a man and basketball player. So, I thank you.
Appreciate it.
Girl, I appreciate you being back in our community. If I was your community, giving back, not just being a taker, like you said, giving back a lot.
Yeah, I like to. I do Hispanic communities, also our African American communities. I do it up up north with what's my man? I forget my man. I don't know how I forget his name. Oh man, I forget. But it's a guy. He's a rooted Miami guy, man. I don't know why I can't remember his name. He's doing a lot of stuff up in Fort Lauderdale area. I work with him, and down here, I do some stuff with the Build Your Own Legacy. I don't know if you've seen those guys, the BYOL. Glenn Rice introduced me to those guys. They're doing a lot of stuff down here in the Miami area. Build Your Own Legacy in the African American community, keeping a lot of kids off the street, keeping them playing basketball. They have also the tutoring and after school program. BYOL is really big down here. So then I'm finding different places to donate money to as time goes on. I donate to different organizations. I mostly do donations to my African American community because they need the money more than the money can. Once you get to know the right people, the money goes to the right places, and kids need that. It's just the facilities, it's balls, it's uniforms, it's sneakers, it's those type of things. A lot of our kids can't afford that, man. Sometimes we'll donate money so that all the kids can participate for free.
Yeah.
Their parents don't have no $500-600 spent on no program. Like, come on. They don't have that. I do a lot of stuff with Cedric Urban and my man Marcus Barnes. I give a lot of my old sneakers because sneakers that's old to me, not old to people. So I get a scuff. I get a scuff on them. I'm trying to throw them away. So I give a lot of those shoes to Marcus Barnes, who gives it out to a lot of students at Southridge and South Miami High School. So I give him like bags and bags of sneakers, bags and bags of clothes. My son, a lot of sneakers that he get in college, and he leaves them at home, and I give them to those kids as well because they were 15, 16.
I'm about to say your size is probably hard.
You got a lot of big guys. You'd be surprised how unfortunate a lot of situations are for kids. Not having food, not having clothes. So it's kind of like a downer. So I try to at least give that. You have some decent clothes, book bags, sneakers, socks. Those type of things. So that's what we're doing now.
Well, we appreciate you, and may God continue to bless you.
Thank y'all, man, for having me on. I like you guys' platform. I hope crossover blows up, man. I hope I get to see you guys on ESPN. It's the same thing Skip and Shannon do. So
Hey, speaking
it's a great platform. Like I said before, anytime you need me to come on, I'm here. Car's my big sister. She's good people, and anything she needs, I'm there for her. She knows that.
Appreciate you, bro. 100. Appreciate you. We're gonna hold you. You got things to do, man. Keep pointing to the
that. Hey, you. We got to get on that.
We definitely scheduling that.
We're gonna do a special episode just about travel ball.
Yeah, we got to get on that, man. Come on. I got some pros and some cons, but it ain't all negative. But
all right. As we get into that travel ball season, we're gonna bring you back for that.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you,
Mark. All right. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe.
You too.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Yeah, guys. So listen, that was Mark Strickland, man. Informational packed. Oh man, was he dropping gems or what?
He was dropping gems. Hey, we talking about an NBA player coming from the bottom, making it, coached by legendary coaches, and back here in Miami, giving back to our community and to our kids. And that's what it's about,
Yeah, man. And if you just listen to the story as he's telling it, he got denied, basically, right? Like was rejected. And like he said, for 6 months, he just was like just cooling it. And then, his mind, he had to get his mindset back right. And think about that. Sometimes we don't get back up after we get knocked down, right? So man, that like Michelle said earlier, that was the definition of a true crossover. Like seriously, picking yourself up, pressing on. And then the thing I love about it is he gives back. That's why he'll always be blessed, because he literally gives back. Seriously.
Hey, that's what it's about, man. Appreciate this platform that, you know, we're going to be able to provide that information to people just being out here right now. So, hey, awesome job, team. Awesome job. Another great night.
So everybody, thank you for joining us. We appreciate all the comments. We definitely appreciate the shares. You know, let people know about it. We plan on having a guest every week. There's some people in the audience that I sure enough want to bring on here, like Coach Michelle Adderley. Definitely got to get her on, because that's that serious crossover. We're gonna talk that money crossover, right?
right. And
So
what we got next week, see?
We actually, you know what? We have JY, Jerome Williams, went to Georgetown, played in the NBA as well. He'll also be on here. I met Jerome through the Retired Players Association. I am actually the president of the Miami chapter, and Jerome is the president of the Las Vegas chapter. So that's how we met. And I mean, the relationship has been awesome, man. Everybody that I meet from that program and that platform has the same mindset and a servant leadership heart, man. It's awesome.
That's how you succeed right there.
Yeah.
It's better to give than to receive. So that's how your blessings come.
Yep. So with that being said, it's Takara and Carla signing off from the crossover. One thing you better have is vision, because where there is no vision, the people shall perish.
Woo! Done. Enough said. Hey, next time, y'all be good.
All righty.